Hi everyone, Janie here, and recently I did a video on vinyling that was aimed at beginners. And so it was really simple, small scale. I didn't give out a lot of information because I didn't want to overwhelm you, but I did get some comments asking if they can see something on a larger scale. And you are in luck because I have a treat for you. My husband and I are going to be adding another character to our semi-truck, and you get to watch us do it. And it'll also include layering, which is something no one has asked about yet, but I'm pretty sure you're going to want to see. So let's get started. First things first, let's look at your Vinylene options. Oracle 631 has a matte finish. It's great for indoor use, for walls and other items that won't be washed, and it is removable for up to 2 years without leaving any gunk on your walls. Oracle 641 also has a matte finish, a water-based permanent adhesive, but it can be removed with a heat gun, and it can be used outdoors and on hand-washed items like mugs and car windows, and it has a 3 to 5 year rating. Oracle 651 is the main adhesive vinyl that most people start with, and it has a 5 to 8 year rating. It is great indoors and outdoors. It is a permanent solvent-based adhesive vinyl, again removable with a heat gun, and it is hand washable. Oracle 751 and higher is high grade and is something you will most likely never use, but there is a link below to information on all vinyls, including heat transfer vinyl. For you crafters, Cricut sells both removable and permanent adhesive back vinyl in a large variety of colors. You can also find vinyl on eBay, and you can even find sampler packs to get you started. I'm going to have links below in the description box to help you find vinyl on Cricut and eBay. We're going to be using Oracle 651 on our semi-truck because it holds up through all weather conditions, all road conditions, truck washes, and everything. The first truck we put vinyl on 8 years ago still looks great. So what is best for applying your vinyl to your surface? The answer to that is transfer tape. It is always best to use transfer tape and not contact paper, especially when doing a larger project or layering or working on a window or vehicles. Cricut and eBay both sell transfer tape, and I will put links below for you to make it easy. If you're applying the vinyl to something outside, weather and temperature is of the utmost importance. I think it's obvious that wind and rain are bad news for applying vinyl, but so is the weather being too hot or too cold, or the surface you're putting it on being too hot or too cold. It can cause it to bubble and not stick properly. And so you just need to make sure that the weather conditions are nice, like a really beautiful day. So I have all of my pieces cut out that I'm going to be using to create Zoe on our semi. And they're ready to be weeded, and I'm not going to weed all of them here in front of you. I will let you know that, I didn't show cutting it out because, you all have different cutting machines. And for me, I used my Cricut, but you're going to follow whatever directions you have for your cutting machine. And with my Cricut, I can only cut it 11.5 inches wide. I can go 24 inches long, but this is how big Zoe is at 11.5 inches wide. And I haven't measured this out, but I think it's about 14 inches this direction. So this isn't a huge project that we're going to do, but it is bigger than the last one. So I'm going to start off by weeding my blackout image, which will be the base. And this is, really easy to do. So like before, we're just going to use our pokey tool. You know what? It probably has an actual name, but all of us crafters call this our pokey tool. And I'm just going to grab a hold of a piece of the vinyl here and lift it up. And I'm going to pull. And there's nothing small on here because this is blackout, so this is really easy to literally just grab and pull. There we go. And there is Zoe. with lights reflecting on her and a camera wiggling. But that's the first part. And that was easy. So I'm going to move this to the side. And I'll weed one more thing. And this one already had one piece coming off from it. It was trying to weed itself. Holy cow. Okay, so again, pokey tool. Just grab a spot that does not have your image on it. And usually right up in a corner is the best place to find that. Now this one is going to have some smaller pieces. So I am going to pull this back a little bit slower, just because I don't want to miss something. Okay. Sorry I'm quiet while I'm doing this, but I'm actually concentrating here. Okay, hold on one second. There we go. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't grabbing something up that I should not be grabbing. Okay, so now there are pieces to weed out. And I know the light is reflecting on this. Let me see if we can get the camera in here. So you can see, like, right here is a mouth, and up here are eyes. And those things do not need to be on here. So I'm just going to grab a hold of that mouth and lift it up. I'm going to grab a hold of the eyes and lift those right out. And over here is another thing that needs to be weeded out. Ooh, be careful this doesn't happen. You don't want your vinyl stuck to your vinyl. Okay. Let's see, we got over here another piece. And I will double check, but I think I've got it all. Now, this will not layer on exactly the way it is. So when we go to layer, we'll probably be cutting out each of these pieces to make sure that they're layered on properly. Let me show you what I mean. So these pieces are going to be her head and her arms. But if I used transfer tape to lift this up just the way it is, as you can see, here's her hands and arms, but here they are out here on either side. So these pieces I'm going to have to cut around, and transfer tape will be put on those to layer on here. Okay, I've got everything weeded except for this, and I thought, you know what, maybe I'll show you guys one more time. So again, take your pokey tool, find a piece of vinyl up here in the corner. You don't need to like come back here and try to separate the two pieces. Just grab a piece that does not have any of your image on it, and we're going to pull. The more intricate your pieces are, the more slowly you're going to want to pull. When I did that blackout base piece, there was nothing on that. So it was really easy to just pull it, and I could pull it quickly. Okay, now here I'm going to kind of change directions a little bit, because there we go, because I had these pieces that went up in there. Okay, and now I have some really delicate pieces in here, so I'm going to do them off camera, but I'm going to see if you can see them. Get the light to not shine on there. Yeah, there, with the light shining on it, you can see some of them. They're just really skinny little pieces. Actually, let me see if I can grab one on camera for you here. There you go. So really skinny pieces, and you have to watch for those, and you have to be, you know, really careful when you're weeding them out. So again, you just find a little spot on there and you lift it up. And I was going to do this off camera, but you know what, I can see it good enough right here. And be careful when they stick on there, because sometimes they'll just pop over and stick, so pull them off gently. Now comes the fun part, because you would think, okay, this is where we add the transfer tape. Nope, not true. Because of the way that Cricut does the layers, they are actually cut out by color, which means anything that is that color pink is going to be in one group together. Anything that's the other pink is in a group together, and I have to cut them all out. So, for example, here are the shoes, and I'm going to have to cut around those and her skirt to get each separate piece. I have the shoes cut out, and then I'm going to cut out her skirt, and I'm going to have to do that with each of these. So I'm not going to make you sit here through all of this cutting because I'm sure that's just going to bore you, but I just wanted you to get the idea that if you are working with something like a Cricut that cuts out all the layers together, I just wanted you to see that you do have to cut them out before putting the transfer tape on them. That way you have all of your little pieces, you know, ready to go, and then you can layer them on in each section where they go, and you'll be seeing that later when we are putting the layers together. Okay, so the first thing is I'm going to put transfer tape on Zoe's face. So this is kind of smaller, and my transfer tape comes on these huge rolls. So yours, you know, if you're getting it from somewhere else, like from Cricut or, you know, from someplace, you know, on eBay or whatever, it may come differently. So with the sticky side up, and let me get my sleeves out of the way here. With the sticky side up, I'm going to get an idea of how much I need. And I'm going to need about that much. Allow yourself a little extra just in case. And I'm just going to cut this off. Okay. And it's curved up, you know, it's like driving me crazy. It's not flat. You will probably have that same problem. And you want to catch this just right. So you know what? I'm going to turn it the direction that it's curving. And I'm going to curve my transfer tape. And I'm just going to bring it down slowly. And then just bring it down carefully on one side. I call it rolling it down because you're actually, let me see if I can turn this just right for you to see. You're actually keeping your transfer tape kind of in a rolled position and just rolling it down slowly over your image. Okay. And this is where, let's set it. This is where you would use a squeegee. Let me grab that. This is the squeegee that I use. It's a nice solid plastic, rubber plastic. You can use whatever you want. You can even use, you know, a credit card if you want. But this is better because it has a smoother edge. It's not as, you know, sharp as a credit card might be. Okay. And so this is ready to go. And I'm going to set this aside. Okay, look at it that way. So that it's ready for us to take out to the semi and layer it on when it's time for that. Okay, I measured Zoe. She's about 11.5 by 12.5. And I have a variety of transfer tape. Actually, it's all the same, but I have it in different sizes. So what I was using a minute ago was my 6-inch roll. This is a 12-inch roll. I actually have, I think, a 3 or 4-inch roll, whatever it is. And so because Zoe is longer than 12 inches, I can't do it this way. So I'm going to have to do it this way. And so what we're going to do is just like before with the sticky side up, I'm going to lay this down and, well, here we go. And again, my sleeves are getting in the way. Okay, so I'm going to measure out how much I'm going to need. Get it there. Just keep going. And of course, like I said, sticky side up because this thing is just going to want to come up and stick to it. Look at that. Static electricity. Okay. So let me keep pulling this out.
Okay, I think I have a good long piece here. So let me get this cut. Okay, so this is sticky side up. Now we're going to turn it around, and we're going to have sticky side down, but bring your hands together and hold on to it so that it's kind of folded in half, but still round on the bottom. You don't want to crease it. And this is really hard to get my camera up high enough. Anyways, let's bring this in. So we're going to bring Zoe in, and we're going to lay her down. And we're going to do the same thing we did before. So with this folded in half, we're going to gently bring it down and let the fold touch the image. And then we're going to carefully, see how, I don't know if you can see that, I'm rolling it down. I'm keeping it like that, and it rolled nice and smooth. We're going to do the same thing on this end. We're just going to keep this rolled like this and gently put it down. You can come in behind it if you want with your hand or a squeegee and make sure that it's going down smoothly. But usually when you roll it like this, there's not a problem. Okay. And I left lots of access. I left lots of excess of the transfer tape, and that's actually good because in situations where you're actually applying something really big, like something bigger than this even, it's good to have this up here. You can actually line everything up and put this on your wall, your vehicle, or whatever, and then you can start peeling. You know, you have it exactly where you want it. You can reach under. Look at that. I think that's one of my hairs. That's scary. Okay, you can reach under and then start pulling the backing down slowly and attaching your image. If you have air bubbles, squeegee them out. There was an air bubble there, a couple air bubbles that got under there. Just squeegee them right out. Just keep going. Boom, there it is, off the side. Okay, so this is all ready to go on the semi.
Everyone, meet my scruffy husband who has been out on the road and just got home today. So it looked like this was going to be a perfect day to do this because it's really important. There's no wind, no rain, that it's warm enough. But right after we got everything all set up, the wind kicked in, the clouds came over, and we contemplated on not doing this, but we already had the camera set up and everything, which was really a big ordeal to get it set up outside because my webcam is now on a tripod that is sitting on top of a table, having to get the right angle. So we're doing this no matter what. And, you know, he did a good job with it being windy out there. And what he's doing right now is not just squeegeeing it on, but trying to get out as many air bubbles as he can, because when it's windy, and it was a little windy, we end up with a few air bubbles. So he has the blackout layer of Zoe on, and he is slowly peeling off the transfer tape, and actually for more than one reason, because it is actually cold enough outside that it makes it difficult. And now he's using the pokey tool to go in where there were some air bubbles and poke a tiny hole and then flatten it back out again. And you can do this with the pokey tool. You can do this with a razor blade. And now he is putting on Zoe's head. The one thing that's tough about adding these layers is finding the exact right place to put them. And sometimes you don't get them exactly where you want them, but you can get them close enough. But he is so good at this. This is something that I would say is fairly new to him, but over the past couple of years, he's been helping me a lot, and I think he has become quite the pro at putting on all these layers and pieces. He's actually really good at weeding too, but today I did all the weeding because I wanted to have it all done and ready to go when he got home so that we can get this recorded for you guys. There are so many pieces to Zoe. I can't believe he let me put her on my side of the semi because this is a lot of work. Some things like Elmo only had a couple of layers, but Zoe has so many pieces, and you're going to see that as he's putting them on. So as you can tell, I sped things up a little bit to help shorten this video, and now I'm going to add some music for your listening pleasure, so you can continue to watch this process, or you can fast forward if you would like. Thank you all for watching, and I hope that this was helpful. And if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them for you. Happy vinyling, everyone. Bye-bye.